groups. Our next and last presenter from this panel is Adrian Ozarchievici from RomAmPro, Romanian Business Professional Association in, should I say New York or New Jersey? Or both?
We don't discriminate, but it's New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut.
And Connecticut.
Primarily.
I see, primarily.
But we welcome everybody.
We welcome you in DC as well then.
And thank you so much, Theo. Glad to be here. Sărbători fericite tuturor. Noi chiar avem, I'm going to switch to English. We have our holiday party starting in about 3 hours. So if anyone is around Connecticut, you still have time to make it. We'd love to see you there. So my name is Adrian Ozarchievici. I'm the president of RomAmPro. Constantin Vulpescu was the president before me, and Theodor Lazar before him. So RomAmPro, our website is RomAmPro.org. That's our website. The predecessor foundation was founded about year 2000, and then we actually incorporated as a non-for-profit in 2016. I only got involved about 2 years ago. We currently have 7 people on the board, including we're going to announce one terrific addition shortly this afternoon. But basically, you probably recognize some of the names: Simona Vasile, who's heavily involved with Fora, Liviu Vlaiconi, Theo Lazar, Constantin Vulpescu, Anca Early, and Mihaela Ungureanu. So what we mainly do is we organize community events, mainly for business people, professionals, students, and most of the impact that we can make for the community is via educational webinars, pretty much all on Zoom, right? So in 2023, we did the following webinars. If you look at our website, you actually can see some of the recordings of, most of the recordings are posted there. The topics were how to protect your money in 2023, finances for young adults and their parents, an economic overview by Dr. Stefanescu from Washington, D.C., economic professor, college planning with Dr. Diana Barbu, who wrote 2 books on the topic, which we co-organized with Dragoș from Romanian in Connecticut. And we are actually going to have our next one. I'll talk about that in just a little bit. And 23 ways to lower your taxes in 2023. So these were some of the webinars that we did this year. My intent is to do a webinar about every month or 2, depending on what the community needs. Certainly welcome any feedback. If there's any topic that you think the community would appreciate and would find value in, we're happy to try to put it together. A little bit about me. I've been in the industry for 20 years. I'm a financial planner, but that's a secret. I really don't want to show my age. I pretty much worked for all the major banks of this country, including HSBC. I guess I can't keep a job for more than 7 years, but I'm deeply passionate about educating people, and that's really the best part of my job. And I thought about what else can I do? Because at work, I basically 95% of my work is doing investments for people, right? But having been in banking for so long and collecting so many tips and information that's not necessarily readily available to the public, I thought that it would be very useful to share some of this information. That when you walk into your local bank, not only sometimes they don't have the information, but they're not allowed to tell you certain things, right? From the bank's perspective, right? So I'm very passionate about sharing this. I'm very passionate about helping families. A lot of the people we work with are widows, single parents that try to put their kids through college. It makes a huge impact to have a good financial education. It makes a very, very big impact to a family. Obviously, as Romanians, education is preached to us from young, right? But how about the financial education, right? That's where a lot of people are lacking. So that's where we come in. That's where RomAmPro comes in. And I always try to have the economics professors, lawyers, accountants, CPAs, people that are basically experts in their field come and share their wisdom with the community. So more specifically, as I said, we covered tips on how can you lower your taxes. So all of these are things that if I don't know how much it can apply if you live outside of the United States. However, we covered tips on how can you lower your taxes, how can you improve your credit, how can you get a better mortgage rate or credit card rate, how to protect your investments. And by that, I mean protecting and growing. How should you protect your family with insurance, lending, mortgages, banking, budgeting. How can you create monthly income, and how can you have tax-free growth and income? So our webinars are very interactive, and we encourage live questions. And again, if you look at our website, you can see many of these recordings. Next events that we're going to have, as I said, this afternoon, we're having our holiday party, which is our biggest event of the year. So we're going to have about 50 to 60 people, mainly from the business community, not just Romanians, but very, very good professionals will be there. It's usually a lot of fun, and we're going to have it at a very exclusive club in Connecticut. There's still time, even though the registration shows closed on the website. If people are in the area, they could still come at the door and pay. And by the way, part of the funds go to a scholarship to support high school students. Next plans that we have around this Tuesday coming up, we're going to have a webinar that's going to be focused on types of retirement plans and the importance of life insurance and types of life insurance, and how can you avoid overpaying for life insurance, and do you have enough, right? I think it's a very crucial topic. Next webinar after this, around Valentine's Day, we are going to have the second part of the webinar about college planning and financial aid. How can you obtain maximum financial aid, which is going to be mainly ran by Dr. Diana Barbu, who wrote the books that I mentioned a little earlier. She's a great friend of ours from Florida. She lives in Florida, but we will co-host this with Românul from Connecticut, which is captained by Dragoș. In the future, we also want to have a career webinar with people from various professions. So we plan to put a panel together where we may have people from different industries, maybe journalists, business people, accounting people, finance, lawyers, just different things. We want to inspire the younger public people that are in high school, teenagers and their parents. How do you motivate a teenager to follow a path in life and to be a productive member of society? Other plans that we have is we may want to have some webinars around estate planning. We may want to have a webinar about business tips from various business founders. We're very eager to hear suggestions from the community, even if someone may be in Hawaii or Los Angeles. We have people that sign in even from Romania to our webinars. So we just want to make it available and very, very useful and relevant to people all over the United States. Other in-person events. So please, connect with me. You'll have my email address. We would love to hear your tips and suggestions of what you would be interested in hearing and what you think the communities would be interested in hearing about. We also plan on having a multi-short event sometimes in March in person, as well as a picnic in the summer. And there's other things that we're working on behind the scenes, not just in the virtual space, but also in real life. So if we also have other professionals that have expertise in certain segments of the market and they want to present, more than happy to try to put together webinars for them. Regarding RomAmPro, which is a non-for-profit, obviously donations are tax deductible up to a certain amount. We accept them and we use them for scholarships and events such as these and really try to help the community. We're obviously all professionals. We want to connect with other Romanian organizations and try to really empower the public and make a positive contribution to everyone. So if anyone wants to connect with me, we would be happy to put you on our distribution list, so at least you're aware of when our next events will occur. Again, most of them are going to be on Zoom. I thank everyone for their time. I know this was supposed to be 15 minutes, but I figured I always like short and sweet and to the point. So happy holidays, Crăciun fericit. Wish everybody and your families the very best for the new year. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for what you're doing. We had the presentation about bringing in resources that small community-based organizations don't have, and you have the professionals that can present on various topics that are relevant in financial planning of families and communities throughout the country. So this is a way in which the national platform and this kind of annual conferences can help bring together and become a resource for the entire national diaspora community. Thank you for joining. It was a pleasure meeting you at the Alianța Gala recently in DC, and we look forward to working with you in the new year.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
With that, we conclude our communities panel.